One night, two cab drivers robbed. One allegedly at gunpoint, the other just 7 hours later sprayed with pepper spray. Right now, airport officials don't have an exact number of people who may be at risk, but if you parked here between September 29th and October 29th, you might want to check your accounts. The energy is big out here. Like you said, we are live here at Kinnick Stadium. I'm going to step out of the way because you can see a sea of black and gold asking the city to cover up. The storm drain. Things have changed out here since my 5 o'clock last hit. I can tell you that the Cedar County Emergency Management, we've got new information from them, and they have evacuated 11 homes in this area. Many county deputies are still trying to figure out exactly what happened, but I can tell you that 12-year-old girl fell in that grain wagon that you see behind me, nearly suffocating. Amanda, I can tell you this video has gotten a lot of attention here in Iowa City since it hit the cyber streets tonight. Johnson County Board of Supervisors issued a civil emergency forcing mandatory evacuations, and you can see behind me, you can see exactly why. The bulk of the snow has stopped falling at this point, but it definitely caused some problems on the roadways earlier tonight after multiple shots were fired right near this area where I'm standing. Now, Amanda, here's why. They tell me they weren't even notified about it. Complaint says Virginia Jones slapped and hit two children, an 8-year-old and a 13-year-old, but thanks to pictures that 13-year-old took, Jones got caught and lives in the apartment complex where Shao's car and body were found. But tonight, police tell us they strongly believe Lee has returned back to China. Investigators are looking for this man, 23-year-old Zayangnan Lee, a University of Iowa Chinese international student. He is a person of interest after Iowa City police confirmed Monday the 20-year-old Tong Xiao's body discovered Friday inside the trunk of her own car.
She'd been missing for so long, we understood that there probably wasn't going to be a positive outcome at this point.
That's what Lieutenant Brotherton told us on the scene Friday, and the outcome was not a good one. Iowa City police strongly believe Lee has now returned back to China. But we did a little digging and found out that Lee is a business major at UI. But according to his Facebook profile, he still lives in Rochester, New York, and plans to graduate in 2015. However, police tell us he lived right in Iowa City in the apartment complex where Xiao's car and body were found and is considered an associate of hers. Investigators are treating this death as suspicious, but police won't release the cause or manner of her death pending the autopsy results. Now here's a timeline. Xiao was last seen September 6th in Ames. 2 days later, her friends got a text message saying she was in Iowa City. On Friday, September 26th, Iowa City police found Xiao's 1997 Toyota Camry parked at an apartment complex with her body in the trunk. Police say her body was there for several days.
That car was stinking, but we didn't know if it was the car because we thought it was the garbage up in the area.
Century-old evidence.
Files dating back to the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Files, records, tossed, resting on these dark and damp shelves.
It is far, far worse than I ever imagined.
These are the conditions Johnson County Courthouse employees are working in, conditions they call outright unsafe.
It's unsafe for employees to access some of the locations.
Every day, workers are forced to search records inside one of their 3 off-site storage facilities. But overrun files, well, that's not the only thing they're dealing with. Sometimes cases have to get backed up because they don't have room to hold these cases.
Right.
Thoughts?
For years. You're not just talking months or weeks. You're talking years.
Johnson County Attorney Janet Linus says hearings have been canceled and trials delayed for years because there's simply not enough space.
Our staircases end up being meeting rooms, conference rooms.
I don't know how people can work here.
That's why Johnson County leaders are pushing for the courthouse annex that will be on the ballot in November.
Totally sold after seeing what it's like in there.
Already in the past years, voters in Johnson County have turned down projects that would have included a new jail and courthouse addition. But this is the first time the project solely focuses on the courthouse.
Picture is worth 1,000 words. It is incredibly crowded.
Ron, after our story aired last night, I got a call from the city's communications director today. He says while this whole situation is unfortunate for the couple, he says the drain near their backyard is doing its job. So this is not a city issue?
The infrastructure that's in place is working the way it was designed to work.
That's what North Liberty City leaders are telling us after our story aired. You may remember this North Liberty couple called us Monday hoping to seek answers about their backyard and basement being backed up with water.
So it's really important that homeowners have sump pumps that'll be able to pump that water back out and keep up with those stormwater.
But the McGinnises say they now have not one, but 3 sump pumps, and the problem is still happening. Here's a look at what once was a finished basement. It now looks unfinished.
We've had to rip out drywall, carpet. We've had to rip out the toilet.
While I went straight to city leaders, hoping to get this family some answers about this, the city is standing by their claim.
That's where it's supposed to collect so that it can go into those drains, and when it fills up, it's supposed to drain out into the street and into storm drains that are in the street. Okay. Is that working properly then? It is. The storm drains? It is.
But it's not only affecting us, it's affecting our whole neighborhood.
It's frustrating and it's scary because our home is continuing to sustain damage.
Now here's something new. I'm told that the city had a meeting today to discuss this problem. Now the city engineer is out of the office for the rest of this week. I'm told once he returns to the office, he will contact that couple. When the streets are covered.
The first snowfall is always absolutely insane.
There are bound to be problems on the roads.
The first snowfall, it doesn't matter, and it's going to cause problems.
As the snow continued to fall throughout the day and even into the night, calls for help came in.
10-439.
Here at Darrah's Towing in Hiawatha, they know the first snowfall of the season means hundreds of calls, sometimes too many for them to handle.
They forget they don't allow any extra time. They just think it's like any other normal day, and they get in the car and drive away quickly, and then everybody crashes.
We were driving throughout Cedar Rapids and noticed Darrah's responding to drivers slipping and others stranded.
When he knows how to drive, I mean, first snowfall, everybody's a little, shooken up.
Police had to shut down this portion of Edgewood Road on the southwest side because cars just couldn't make it. Darrah Chifus says even the smallest amount of snow caused driving hiccups. That's why their passenger vehicle trucks were out in full swing. But for the most part, what we noticed, drivers seem to be taking their time getting wherever they needed to go.
Stay safe out there. It's going to be a long night and a long winter.
Definitely a long night and a long winter. Now, Bob, I just got the phone with Darrah's not too long ago, and they told me that that they've taken hundreds of calls already, and they still have about 100 people waiting for a tow truck to get to their location. Now, they tell me they won't completely get caught up on all of those calls until sometime tomorrow night. We've got you covered live in downtown Cedar Rapids. We've got you covered live at Washington City Hall. We've got you covered live in Iowa City. We've got you covered live in Benton County. I'm Justin Andrews, KWWL News.